Fanboy Modeling School. What's up?
Whoa, coming in hot.
Yeah, how are you, my friend? Welcome to Fanboy Modeling School.
What is going on? What is going on? Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness, man.
Oh my goodness. Oh
so much going on in the news. But first, before we get into all of that, this is your boy Steve, real name, no gimmicks, joined by His Highness, the Royal Curmudgeon, MC Shady McBiscuits himself, Fat Mantis. How are you doing, my brother?
Hollerations.
hello.
Hollerations from the internet.
And also, shout out to Mothership Monday, man. Great episode. I dare say your best episode.
Thank you.
Yes,
Me and Lainey.
yes,
Lainey definitely puts in a lot of work to make that show possible. It's great that we have that kind of thing that, like, the truth is that if you have a lot of interest, you probably can create a lot of streams.
Right.
And I'm glad that I have like somebody to talk to about my alien shit, because I know you don't want to talk to me about my alien shit. So,
bro, I've talked to you about your alien shit before, but I just know the truth, right? The truth is that you just want to have sex with aliens, and that's why you're desperately hoping that they exist. All that other stuff.
Why are you putting me on blast? Why are you putting me on blast?
All that other stuff is, it's neither here nor there. And a very special hello to Lainey and Izzy up in here all the way. Automel held a message for a reason: race, ethnicity, or religion. Allow in the post. You know what? I'm here for the trolls tonight, man. Let me go ahead and allow that. Booyakasha. I am here for it. I'm just gonna go ahead and share the lives. Why don't you tell the people what we're talking about tonight?
Hello, everybody. So I am the Fat Mantis, and of course I'm here with Steve. Real name, no gimmicks. We together are the Fanboy Modeling School, and today we're gonna play a little game called "Who is your favorite celebrity to drop a deuce on?" Will it be Elon Musk, Amber Heard, Joe Rogan, or all of Disney? We've got some good choices for tonight. Of course, I'm gonna let Steve spin the wheel of what topic will crush your minds tonight. Do we have any fun tunes for tonight, or?
Yeah, I can get I gotta see if I can find some commercial free, some license free stuff. So just go ahead and talk to the people, because we got some other stuff going on in the news today as well, man. Lot of tears about to be shed by the announcement Mantis is about to make. But,
so the first one I want to say is the one that I celebrated, and I celebrated by not only did I make an account, my first tweet on my new account was congratulations to Elon Musk for successfully buying Twitter. Finally, we can have free speech on the internet again. That's what my tweet was.
And he was promptly removed from the platform yet again.
I was accused of being a bot within 20 minutes.
Were you really?
They do that a lot on Twitter, actually. They always are like, they make you give, a human test whether you're a robot or not.
Okay.
They just do it excessively on that app, which actually we're going to talk about bots later, because it's funny. Twitter bots has something to do with one of our other stories.
Okay. I'm here for it.
It's wonderful. The confluence of silliness that the news is generating for us today. They're all interwoven.
It's a good news week, man. It is a good news week, and I'm here for it, man. I'm 100% here for it. All right, I have shared the live with as many people as I'm going to feel comfortable sharing it with. And let's get started with the low-hanging fruit. The deuce heard round the world revisited.
And it's so funny because this is going to come back to it. So Amber Turd, right?
Amber Turd.
That's what D Love so brilliantly called her, dubbed her. So there's this horrible divorce situation going on. Well, they've already been divorced. Now they're just suing each other all the fucking time, right?
Right.
And so I will say this, and I've seen video now. I'm actually watching the video. It's so shameful. They're putting the new videos of him being a drunken a-hole. And I was like, that doesn't mean he laid hands on her, but he does look like he's a fucking bitch to talk to. Those belligerent drunks, like me. You don't want to have a conversation with when they've been drinking. That's Johnny Depp in a nutshell.
I mean, they did get some not so flattering pictures of him possibly on the well, we can't say it on Twitch, but Snowfall come to mind.
Yes.
People?
Yes. And you know what's also funny is if you see the testimony, I don't know, have you been watching it?
No, I'm staying as far away from this as possible.
He's completely candid about it. That like the lawyer will be like, "Is that a picture of you and Marilyn Manson doing, putting that up your nose?" And he's like, "Yes, yes." And then he'll be like, "Did you ever do other things with her?" And he's like, "I've given him a few pills of ecstasy. And remember, I gave him a sleeping pill so he would shut up at a party." And like, he's just being totally blatant about it, not even trying to hide it, And you know what? I got to tell you, Johnny is very charming, even though he's like caught red-handed. He's very charming.
Oh, very, very charming. Very charming. Chat, let me know if you can hear the music. My setup's a little bit different than Mantis's, and for some reason, apparently, he can play music. I think you're using your Arcane bot over there in Discord to play music, which is why it's probably coming through the channels.
Yeah,
clearly. So, it is what it is. It is
what it is. We're gonna have a good show no matter what's playing.
So the deuce, the hot steaming poo on the bed, absolutely amazing. I got to tell you, man. Before we get into this, Mantis, I've been up in these internet streets. This entire birthday weekend for you, man. As you know, I am a man from D Hood, as they say. I am a reformed, hood hater.
Right.
I've dabbled my toe into hood shenanigans, pulled my toe out. You and I, we've beefed with the hoodies before. That's what we used to call them growing up, folks. But every once in a while, I like to return to the streets from whence I came, and now on these internet streets, makes it a little bit easier for me to get my my daily fix. So I've been watching a lot of Star lately. You remember Star and Buck Wild?
Yes.
He has not been covering the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp debacle. He's been covering other shenanigans going on in the dark world of Black Twitter and Clubhouse. So I gotta say, I'm feeling a little extra toxic tonight. I listened to
okay. Clubhouse will do that to you.
I want to tap in on the Amber Heard situation. So, this is a defamation case, right?
Yeah.
And Johnny is suing Amber Heard for a lump sum of cash, and the accusation is that allegations that she has made has ruined his career and had him blacklisted from Hollywood. I believe some of that can be substantiated if you're a reasonable person. Obviously, he got ousted from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, the franchise which was built on the back of his performance. Let's be honest.
Oh my God, no other actor could have made that movie work.
Absolutely. And
I don't even care if they get another comedian. I don't like if he had that character. The Jack Sparrow is the only reason that movie works at all.
No, 100%. I'm 100% in agreement with you. He's out of the Fabulous Beast franchise, the proxy of the Harry Potter.
Right. Fantastic Beast.
There. Fantastic Beast, yeah.
Yeah, not a great franchise in the first place, but it was certainly a payday. Because I heard in the last one that he didn't even participate in, they had to pay him $10 million to walk away.
See, here's the thing. I heard that he got his full, and which was $50 million.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, and I can't substantiate that, so it's followed by allegedly.
Right.
And
I mean, I wouldn't be entirely surprised. Deals like that are always made. Like,
you see football coaches and basketball coaches get and players like, hey, we'll give you $60 million to go away.
Yes, not to play.
Yeah,
sit your ass down. We don't even need you on the bench, right?
Right. Exactly. And here's the crazy thing about this whole thing, right? So before we get into this, the only real proof that we have that anything has happened between either party are the leaked audio tapes that came out. We covered this last year on Fanboy Modeling School.
Yeah.
To this day, the only definitive proof of anything happening in which Amber Heard subsequently admitted to abusing Johnny Depp by way of, "You're not battered, I just struck you," is all. I believe is how the quote goes.
She was like, "What is?" She's like, "I didn't punch you. I was just hitting you."
Exactly. I tried that same line in the court of law, and they were like, "You did what?" And I was like, "No, you don't understand. No.
I was just hitting her.
just punching him a little bit, open hand." So that's the only definitive proof. So wherever we go tonight, wherever opinions take us, whatever happens, just remember that the only thing that's been laid out is that audio tape. And as I watch this train wreck unfold on the internet, the interwebs, I've now come to realize one thing. Humanity is lost. And riding on the back of our demise, riding the horse of our destruction, are Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. And it's a sad thing to say. See, Lainey, I believe you are someone who enjoyed Johnny Depp's work in the past. If I'm wrong, correct me on that. I am also a Johnny Depp appreciator. I actually enjoy Amber Heard in a few films that I've seen her in. I actually really enjoyed her in that horrible movie, I Am Number 4. Thought that was great.
Apologies for just whatever just happened, but
no apologies. Timing, you got to shout out to Mandis for getting the overlays and everything ready as soon as you disappeared, and I was in between the Netherlands of the boxes. I got into that right away.
Okay.
But, I'm just gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say this, man. Defamation is the topic at hand, right? Did Amber Heard do enough damage to this man's career where he should be paid out? I turn it over to you, Mantis.
Yes.
Okay.
I would absolutely say yes. And so I would say that there's no way that they would make him, like, recast of all actors, Johnny Depp out of Fantastic Beasts. They got Mads Mikkelsen. Now, don't get me wrong. He's a fine actor.
Right.
He's replacing Johnny Depp, who is a movie star, period.
Right.
They had to pay him out on these things. Clearly, the only reason they would want him to walk was because of the bad press he was getting with Amber.
Right.
So that has to damage his future ability to get roles. He's a woman hitter now. Right.
And there's no, you can't escape that. Like once you get labeled a woman beater, that's it.
The accusation, all it takes is one accusation to destroy your whole shit.
And here's the crazy thing about this, man. The really, really crazy thing about this, Mantis, and I really want you to tap in here, is that the only definitive proof that anyone's been abusive to anyone is coming from the other side of the table. But there seems to be this cognitive dissociative disorder when that comes up for certain people, which is, hey, we've only got one of them on tape admitting to doing anything. And I'm really interested to see, because I'm not trying to go all red pill, I don't roll with that clique, but I think that's odd, don't you?
Well, as usual, I'm going to get myself canceled right now, but here it goes. I think it works both ways. That all it takes is for a man to be accused of that, and it will forever beyond tarnish him, whether he exonerates himself or not. The idea will still be in people's minds. However, it's the exact opposite. All you have to do is give the impression that a woman is being abused, and they will always look at her as a poor abused girl, even if the truth comes out.
Right. And
so she'll always be the victim, even though she put a freaking turd in the man's bed.
So now that's the thing that's really, really interesting to me, man. I was a savage back in the day, man, when it came to my exes. I'm not proud of this. One of my exes did me dirty, so I peed in her suitcase before she went on a trip. Peed on, in the bottom of it.
That is brilliant.
Folded up all her clothes over it, put it in there, and I, sent her on her way.
I want to give you a high five. Well done.
But I don't think I could ever bring myself to bring a solid deuce to the war table.
That? Who would think of that? To be like, I better do something. Better take a shit.
Not me. That I don't have the courage, man. Let me tell you why I did this, Mantis. You may remember when I lived at the artist house in Queens.
Right.
Cesare Caesar, an amazing artist, done a lot of work, illustrations for DC and Marvel, and the long forgotten Art Asylum. Shout out to Chuck and all those guys over there at that crew.
Right.
He drew me an original Boba Fett.
Okay.
Black and white. Beautiful piece of work. And when me and this ex broke up, she tore it up.
I was literally going to say that I think instinctually, and it's not just, I think it's, oh, I can't speak for other people, but I would say instinctually, I find girlfriends, when they are really pissed at me, the first thing they want to do is smash something of mine.
Yeah.
Go for the piece of art on your wall, like you're saying, smash that thing you like, take a bat to your PlayStation.
Right.
Just one hit, one swat at it. To think, to be diabolical enough to be like, I'm gonna take a shit in his bed. You have to be criminally insane,
bro. And here's the thing, man. A poo isn't like something that's like real quick. It's like deliberate. And I mean, unless you got you got one of those wind tunnels going on down there. you get that out. You get it out quick. A poo on the bed is intentional. This is malice.
Pure malice. She should be able to be sued for that one act alone.
It's a hate crime.
$20 million for that one hate thing. Gray says that's because you don't date cray bitches, Mantis.
That's because you date.
Oh, that's because I do date. Okay.
Lady says, OMFG, I would have pissed in her suitcase too. What kind of girls are you two dating? The wrong type. The
wrong type.
Since you started tapping in early, I just had PTSD with that PlayStation comment since you started been through some things.
We've been there. Things. We have, oh my God.
Nah, shit in my bed. Don't smash my PlayStation. Shaolin Iceboxer tapping in early. She is one of the most vile people I've seen in a long time. And then Izzy coming in with the honest question: did she wipe with the sheets? I would assume that had to be the next maneuver.
I often think about that because I think about this all the time. When people say they've shat in someplace weird, I always want to be, my first question is, but I don't want to know, is I'm like, well, how did you wipe? You know what I mean? They're like, I'm going to take a shit on his grave. I'm like, what are you going to wipe with, bro? You're going to bring toilet paper with you? What did she wipe with?
Exactly.
Did she bring toilet paper? Because then it's premeditated.
Absolutely, man. See, this is why you're my legal advisor, I mean, you did give me some bad advice that got me 5 years flat, but I'd take that bad advice from you again.
I totally thought that wives can't testify against their dude, so that was my bad.
She wasn't my wife. I kept trying to tell you.
Well, wife, it's like the same shit. No, I mean, the judge didn't think so. Now I'm going to put you guys onto another thing that I don't know if you've heard the news, but something came out today that's going to make you hate her even more.
Okay, go for it.
It's not as disgusting, but it's going to, DC is messing up. But you're not dropping. Well, I think after this, they might end up dropping her because it's getting worse.
Oh, okay.
So Twitter, speaking of which, who does constant checks to see who's a bot? They do it. They're almost obsessed with it. They just bother people all day long. I have to go through more bot checks than I do actual tweeting. Right. So they've determined that in the debate on Twitter between who's right and who's wrong, 11% of those are bots.
Okay.
And overwhelmingly, all of those bots are on Amber Heard's side.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me, man.
Which means she paid somebody to put bots to saying positive shit about her on Twitter.
But this just goes to show you, man, the power of the court of public opinion. Now, listen, shout out to you and Lainey. You guys have been getting into some good work, good conversations, about society, societal issues. I know we delved into that stuff over here as well. And I don't think, Lainey, tap in if you want to. I don't think we've seen in the history of mankind, and I'm willing to stand on this, where the court of public opinion has had more of an impact than the age we're living in now. Like 100%, you are not just fighting for your legal life, you're fighting for your social life as well.
Because I've got the question, what do people, after they get canceled, if they get canceled so bad that their career is actually over, what do they do? Right. And so Roseanne, I don't know, Roseanne Barr, what she was up to with all her shit. She has recently literally begging Hollywood to take her back.
Yeah, same thing with Monique.
She was asking ABC if she was like, can you just put me on your Good Morning show for just 5 minutes? I'm going to apologize for all the things I've said. And they're like, no. And she basically saying she cannot work at all. No one will touch her.
And so here, get ready for me to jump out the window. Are you ready? Are you ready for me to jump out the window?
Okay, yes.
This is why mainstream media, and when I say mainstream media, I mean the conglomerate, the machine. This is why they hate the space of this new media, right? And this is why this was a safe haven. YouTube, Twitch, Bigo Live, even Spoon, Green Room, Clubhouse, all this stuff, right? Because before they held all the chips and you would get canceled, and that's a donezo. You got to beg to some guy, some woman, some person to get back in the industry. Now it's like, yo, fire up the computer, right? Let's get 200,000 people up in this chat. I'm making more money here than I was ever making on ABC. Not me, but these people. But now these places that we've turned to as safe havens of opinions are under attack by algorithms that don't even respond correctly. But yet somehow you can still say Amber Heard and poo on bed, and I guarantee this video stays up, folks. I am 100% guaranteed it stays up.
Yo, and that's the thing. If Roseanne Barr knew how to work the internet better, if she's better at her internet game, she wouldn't be canceled right now. You're right. She could have worked her way out of it, but she's too old and out of it to know what she's doing.
Exactly.
She shouldn't even be bothering them. She should have kept a fan base on her favorite platform and kept in touch with them, because she's not plugged in. She's failing. She's failing at the game of Hollywood. But now it's ever so important. And you're right. It's all about what your fans think, or if you can get at least the appearance that you have fans. Like, I don't actually think I know a single Amber Heard fan. I don't know if they exist.
I can't say I've seen anyone who just weighed in so heavily and they're just like, hey, this, I love her body of work and I'm here for it. Even though I did enjoy her in Aquaman, I enjoyed her in what I am now calling Justice League Dark, official by Zack Snyder, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Other than that, I can't think of anything,
So I'm going to say this. I enjoy looking at her. Right. I don't know if I enjoy when she speaks or does anything.
But here's the thing, man. Let me not take the focus off Johnny. Let me not give Johnny Depp an easy out here, right?
Right.
Man, it's like, if we're looking at this from both sides of the table, I'm sure he's hard to live with. Anyone doing that amount of substances, they're strange.
That's crazy.
He's probably tuna casserole. He freaks out every 3 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
So it's funny. I've seen 2 videos in the last couple of weeks of an angry celebrity getting mad that his wife is filming him and putting him on social media without his decision. Now, we know the first one was Will, right?
Right.
And
right,
Jada.
Right.
Well, there's a Johnny Depp one where he's drunk and he's wobbling around and he's dumping an entire bottle of wine into an oversized mug. And he's spilling it all over. And she's filming him and he looks, she goes, "What are you doing?" And he's like, snatches it from her. And he looks like a monster. Maybe a fight didn't break out, but he just looks like a monster in that one
optics.
Oh, man. It's horrible, man.
Here's the thing, man. It's we're not on. I'm not going to get on this pulpit of cancel culture, because I believe it's morphed into something else. Like, at one point, I could understand the other side of the cancel culture conversation. It's where people were saying it's accountability culture, right? You're just being held accountable for your actions, and there's a level of truth to that. But now it's become business, right? It's become businesses. Companies distance themselves from you. They don't want to mess up their own brand, and the truth is no longer relevant. And it's not even about who's right. And it's funny because this whole defamation thing, like I was saying with the Cardi B and Tasha Tate, whatever her name is, this is a little different, right? That was 100% Tasha K capitalizing off of lies, right? She was just, and she had to admit to that, and she was like, okay, well, maybe I stretched the truth here, and like, she was given every legal recourse to back out. What's going on with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, I think, is going to have a lot more weight, right? Because if she loses this, not only is she out the industry, but then people are going to have to start eating crow, right?
Yeah.
All that association to the Me Too hashtag protect victim stuff. Now you're attacking valid movements, and this is why I keep telling people, be careful what you get behind.
Oh yeah, or who you let in actually.
Yeah, 100%.
Because yeah, if a grifter gets in there and then gets caught, it belittles everything, and it's kind of like the Black Lives Matter thing. I gotta say, in
Yes.
my own personal video on YouTube, it is
Yes.
true that I was mocking Black Lives Matter and I was mocking the Patrice whatever her name is
Yeah.
from it. But the truth is, she is the bad apple, and Black Lives Matter isn't. And I'm sorry if I made it seem like I was hating on all Black Lives Matter. I was hating on her, but because she's the boss of them, it reflects so badly on her organization.
Now, let me jump in front of the bullet for you. I'm gonna jump off the train on this one, man. Yes, there are good pockets of people working within that organization. I shouted out the dude from Brooklyn. I forget his name. I want to say the brother's name is Tariq. I'm not trying to be funny. Grassroots guy, blah 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 blah. Out there doing that work, you in the community. I'm not against you. You know what I'm saying? What I am against is the fact that people can take hold of an entire movement, right? And they take the movement hostage and they do all these things. And I'm not buying that, Amber. I agree with the point Lainey made during you guys' show that these are just two incredibly toxic people. And now we're getting to watch this thing play out. But at the same time, the only proof that we have that either of them is really toxic is the woman who recorded a man pouring wine into a mug, and then I believe even in the audio, she admitted or he accused her of the poo thing, and she was just like, it was a joke.
Yeah, no, obviously, like her whole thought, you know what it does? It looks like she was waiting for the day that she could sue him about something.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's collecting evidence. She's a wicked, wicked person. But I will say this about Johnny. He is an older guy who is looking for a girl half his age who was wild and crazy and a lot of fun. And so he's not entirely innocent. He got what he paid for.
Yes.
He got what he paid for.
And as Mantis and I have learned, shout out to Brooklyn all the way to Harlem. There's a saying that's as old as time. Streets got to eat. And Johnny, you're looking like food right now. And we're here to pick the bones of your horrible, horrible situation by making endless amounts of content about it. And yeah, here's why we're going to do it. The people need to hear the truth. Men need to know you're not a victim for this, what's happening. I mean, I don't want your thumb to be severed, but this is what you did. Right?
Yeah.
At some point, she gave you an indication that she was this,
People warned him. People were like, Warner Brothers executives were like, you don't have to marry her to be with her.
Right.
And he did it anyway. Some old fool in love, right?
Right.
But like, he was in love with the wild times that she made him feel young again.
Yeah.
But how he could not have known she was a gold digger is beyond me. But
right. I mean, I'm here to say, man, I feel for him, but I don't feel bad for him. But again, it's going to be interesting to watch this whole thing play out, Mantis. Mantis, I'm telling you, you're hearing it here from me first, bro. If this happens, the studios that backed her, he's going to sue them next.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he might want to do Warner Brothers because the Warner Brothers got rid of him, but they had kept her.
Exactly. And, sue him for retro praise, sue him for harm, like 100%. And, yeah, I'm just saying, man, but poo on the bed. Lainey tapping in. Absolutely. I still believe she's working this to make herself. If she comes out on top of this, she's going to be uber famous and will set her acting career up. I fully believe this. Lainey tapping in, and I agree with that as well.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh man, it's going nuts. And so real quick, speaking of the cancel culture, my friend.
Yes.
Oh, right. Before we leave this real quick, he says, I heard he put cigarettes out on her. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I'd heard this. This is another thing that's floating around.
He says, I think she said it in a recording. Okay. I mean, that's some dark shit if it really happened.
Yes.
But speaking of cancel culture and some crazy stuff, so this is leading directly into our next segment, which has to go after Joe Rogan.
Oh,
so get this. They've calculated the numbers are in, and he got a boost of 2 million subscribers during the time the scandal was going on of the N-word. He was boasting. He said the numbers were in from Spotify. I got a sudden boost of 2 million subscribers over a couple days. And he's like, yeah, and he's still on upward. He's still on upward. He has not lost a single. Here's what it is. He either got a sudden boost of 2 million, or the butthurt people left, and he got more than 2 million to make up for it by the end of the month.
All right, are you insinuating something, or like, because I don't want to?
I'm asking you what it means, because I don't know what it means.
Oh, well, I mean, obviously, people are going to say those 2 million people are people who enjoy using the N word. They're like, yes, finally, our patron saint. But
it's possible. It's definitely possible.
It's definitely possible. But again, in context, when he was using it, I'm not giving him a pass on this. He was actually, I don't really. Okay, whatever. He was using it in description, not in use of it. Like, he wasn't calling anyone a hard R. I took more offense to the whole Planet of the Apes in Philadelphia thing. I thought that there's something about the N-word where, yeah, I'm still gonna jap you. You say it, you know what I'm saying? You can push the line if you want to, but you call me a simian, a primate of any kind. Like
Roseanne Barr and her comments about Michelle Obama.
Not Obama. It was the other lady. It was I forget her name. It's a light skinned woman. She worked
from the View,
the Obama administration.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. But here's the thing: you can't cancel Joe Rogan any more than you can cancel Dave Chappelle. Right? There's an appetite, there's an audience, and you have to what they want to do is they want to deplatform him. But if you do that, then he's just going to go to Patreon, and he's going to go to other places, and that's just going to pack his shows. Go ahead.
So I think that both the Chappelle, it's interesting you bring it up, Chappelle and Joe Rogan are under the similar phenomenon that they attract people who are tired of cancel culture just in general. You know what I mean? They're absolutely tired of cancel culture. They want it to end, and they're backing them by a principle. Who the hell are you to cancel our heroes, our comedians, our podcasters? F you, and that's why they made sure to double down and make sure to subscribe to him. You know what I mean? That's what I absolutely feel that phenomenon was all about.
I can agree. Oh, he switched sides.
Yeah, look at that. Juggling fun boys.
Pause. Yeah, no, you obviously you're gonna have that response. People like, who are you to take out my favorite person who I like to listen to? Again, but because it's I guess this is not as true with Joe. I was gonna say because they're not tied to some corporate interest, but Joe's on Spotify, right? Exclusively on Spotify. Clips are up on YouTube, but it's just too big. What you do have is a corporation that's like, nah, we paid out a hell of a lot of money to have this content on here, and we're keeping it on here. Same thing with Dave Chappelle. And that's all it took was for them to say, no, right. You have to deal with this. You have to, because we're not giving up this 90 million, however much he got, man.
Yeah.
It's insane, bro.
I mean, let's face it. We all look up to him and wish we had a fraction of the deal that he had.
Bro, 100%, man. Have I ever given you my top 5 personalities, radio or otherwise, that I enjoy?
No.
Even though I don't agree with their positions, 100%. In some cases, I'm like, this guy's a moron, but I respect the work ethic. So let me give it to you. Everyone knows that I'm not a fan of Joe Budden's music, but I respect Joe Budden in the space of podcasting. I enjoy his personality as a podcaster more than I do him as a hip hop artist. 4, I enjoy Charlemagne the God. You got to respect the work ethic. He was the sidekick to Wendy Williams on her radio show for many years. And then, he grew into his own thing. I only tune into the Breakfast Club to hear Charlemagne's takes, no matter how much I disagree with him. 3, I have a great admiration and respect. Let me not do that. I respect the hustle and grind of the owner and proprietor of Geeks and Gamers. I don't agree.
What do you know his name or no?
I forget his name, to be honest with you. But I respect the hustle there. I respect how he's done this, how he's built this platform up, and he has not, been swayed in any way, shape, or form. 2, Wendy Williams. I don't agree with the way Wendy Williams lives her life at all, but she has paved the way for all of us who are content creators to say, hey, I can do this. I have stuff that I want to talk about. I have takes that I want to get out there. She's a scooper. She's the original hip hop scooper.
Yeah.
2, obviously Star and Buck Wild, right? And 1, he doesn't have as far reach yet as podcasting, but have you heard Dave Chappelle's podcast?
No, I've never heard him podcast before.
It's really good, and I split that number 1 spot also with Bill Burr. Bill Burr's podcast.
Bill Burr's great. Bill Burr is absolutely great. Now, I've definitely seen Chappelle get interviewed, and Chappelle just looks like would be a great guy to have a conversation with, just to be like, "What up?"
Extremely intelligent. But I'm not surprised. Let's see what Gray Winthrop has to say here. Not everybody gets Spotify Premium for Joe Rogan. Some of us just need our playlist not to be shuffled. That's a very good point, Gray. It's a very good point. I only got it for Green Room.
Yes, that was the only reason that I did that too. I thought there would be some sort of hookup or connection. You know, if it was better thought out, but there was no thought, no thinking. I know people were like, "Well, Mantis really gives it to Spoon." I give it to any app that crosses me.
Yeah.
And so now it's Green Room's turn to get my fury.
So, like, the personal hot takes. Are you off of Green Room now, or what's going on there?
Yeah. I can't even front right now. Yeah, I didn't do it yesterday. I didn't do it for Mothership. I didn't encourage Lainey to do it for Mothership either. You know what? For the time being, brunch will also be on Green Room.
Okay.
And this week will probably be experiment to see if people still like you listening in. Okay, that's fine.
Right.
But I don't know what. Basically, if they are not letting the average Joe live appear on Spotify, I don't see the point. You go to the Spotify's new live section. They only have 8 shows they kept.
Yeah.
They fired all the other guys or stopped paying them or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is that they did to me in Spoon. They didn't fire me. They just stopped paying me.
Right.
But they're like, feel free to keep going if you want. So they only keep these eight live shows. And I'm like, that's not a live section. If you only have 8 people who are professional grade radio people, that's not a real live streaming.
No. It's a pyramid scheme, man. We're bringing people to their platform, and shout out to everyone in what I like to call Laney O universe. Roundhouse Trolley. Shout out to the Mantis verse. Shout out to DT Dub TV, and shout out to all the Adult Swim crew. All you folks for rocking with us. Something Mantis and I both need to get better at. It's uncomfortable to do this, but we have to do this. Consider becoming a sponsor for our individual channels by subbing on Twitch or following and donating where you can on whatever platform we're at. It helps to keep the lights on. This computer consumes a lot of energy. You'd be surprised what my electric bill looks like.
I'm losing light as we speak.
But back to the Joe Rogan situation. I'm happy he left YouTube, to be honest with you, man, because it also taught YouTube a lesson where they were just like, their partner program isn't that great, and I think they had gotten too comfortable with having Joe on there and the millions of clicks on the clips and stuff like that. So he's just doing his thing.
And I'm participating in their hustle, but part of their business model is creating a sweatshop.
Right.
Of other people doing all the work and them just cashing all the checks and them arbitrarily deciding what they're going to pay you for your work.
Right.
Sometimes they'll be like, you're getting top dollar for this. And I'm like, nah, this video got 1 million views, but whatever. You get pennies.
You played some music in the background by mistake.
Yeah, so something, right? Somebody mentioned Taylor Swift's name in a negative way, and then
and then and here's the thing, right? It's crazy when this whole thing was happening, Joe Rogan. I really do believe that the owners of Rumble, is it Rumbler? I think they would have bought out his contract for real.
I wanted to see that because I really do want to see a social media uprising. Like, wouldn't it be interesting if everyone went to Rumble instead and they just ditched YouTube and YouTube became a ghost town?
Bro, this is originally why I leaned into Spoon so heavily, because it felt so punk rock, so counterculture. I was just like, you don't know, I'm on this exclusive now.
Oh yeah,
and
it was the revolution.
It was the revolution. There will be another revolution, and it will most likely be televised. And we'll get you the link so you can watch it illegally.
Gray Winthrop says that kid from Ryan's Reviews is in a YouTube basement somewhere, like in Severance.
Absolutely.
Absolutely slave shopping away.
Yeah, that kid came up big, man. You know, he's got a syndicated show on Nickelodeon.
He made like a superhero, right? Or something.
Millions of dollars, man. Millions.
Oh my god, from YouTube videos.
I've been trying to get my kids to review some stuff. I'm like, more feeling. You gotta believe that you love the toy.
You call that a review? It's like, Daddy, I said I liked it. And it's like, you need to explain in more detail.
Remember what Uncle Matt said? You gotta bleed for this content. What else? Go ahead.
But you know, Rogan also continued, and it was almost like the way I talk smack about Spoon. Because this was on an episode that he's revealed that, and he was laughing about how he's like, and I got a spike of 2 million subscribers. Thanks a lot, guys. And then he says, and these CNN guys were on me all this case, and he started bringing up CNN Plus. Now you know what happened with CNN Plus.
Yeah.
$300 million to make a streaming app that, for some reason, I don't know if it was advertised. I didn't know it existed.
I did.
I had no idea. And so they had only 100,000 subscribers, but at no day did it have over 10,000 views.
Yeah,
the whole app.
It's a shame because they had some. There was one. No, I won't say they had good content. There was one thing I enjoyed. CNN did this documentary about the 1968 era, and it was actually really well shot. Great interviews and stuff like that. I think it was produced and directed by Tom Hanks. I can't remember, but yeah, no one gave a hot crap about that. No one cares. No one cares.
Right, and so he mocked the crap out of them. He was like, and he said, imagine having the hubris to take content that nobody wants and thinking you can charge people for it.
Exactly.
I mean, they had what's his face? Who's the silver-haired fox over at CNN?
Oh man, what is
it? Anderson Cooper?
Yes, Anderson.
And
Cooper.
He gives parenting advice. They give him a show where he gives parenting advice. Like, who wants to see that?
Don Lemon. And then here's the thing, man. So they got rid of Cuomo. Oh man.
Oh right.
Even more interesting, and I'm not defending Cuomo, man. Have you been seeing the ads for his brother about none of the allegations sticking?
Yeah.
And this is some interesting stuff.
He might come back. Yeah,
he might come back. And that I know he spent a pretty penny on that, man. Spent a pretty penny on it. But watching those ads, he's like, not one allegation stuck. And that's just something we're gonna have to deal with.
I believe it. I absolutely believe it was politically motivated attacks on him.
Yeah, and we're also going to have to deal with the fact that Chris Cuomo is probably going to get pitched a podcast here pretty soon because that's what happens now.
And he's talking shit about his old bosses. And then also another reason why it's also like Cuomo might not be too crazy that he makes a comeback. Governor Hochul, who used to be his lieutenant governor, who took his job, her polls are out and she's in the gutter.
Yeah,
no one in New York State even really likes her.
No.
So he might come back. We might get, dare I say it, we might get the T-Dog back in the White House. We might get the Quomes back in the governor's mansion. It's going to be a return of the bullies in the political front.
A lot of, hey, what are you saying over there?
It'll be definitely an interesting time in politics. And then it will be a backlash of Me Too and progressiveness that they're like, these Neanderthals are now running the show again. At the end of the day, that's what people want.
Bro, you know what's interesting, man? Any man that has the gall to stand up in front of a room of black people and use the political philosophy of, come on!
He's like, could be the worst thing you ever do in your life. Could be the best. Who knows? And they're like, why should we vote for you? I don't know. But why not? I was like, the balls on the ball, right? You always have to say the balls in this guy.
Yeah, 100%, man. Here's another thing I'm really enjoying about talking about the Joe Rogan, the 2 million subscribers. Obviously, bigger content creators serve a purpose. They keep this whole thing going. As long as there are big numbers like that, there are opportunities for a real trickle down effect. When I was out there in these YouTube streets running around listening to Star and stuff like that, I'm watching people who really, I gotta be honest with you, man, because the real hater came out in me. I seen a guy with 500,000 views on a video that he shot in his car with his phone. and he was eating chips the entire time.
Drives me nuts. And then I'm waiting for them to be really funny. I was like, maybe he'll be funny, and he won't be.
No.
And I'm like, what's happening?
Why is this happening?
Marisol, welcome in.
Hi, Marisol.
Why is this happening, Marisol?
Hot tub stream inbound from Mantis and I. How was your birthday, big guy?
Oh, it was crazy. I had an incredible, as you know, it disappeared from the internet.
I know.
I had an incredible weekend.
Okay.
So I went to go see with my sister and a couple of friends, The Northman. So actually, here's what it is. I went down to the
review. Are you doing a review?
I am doing a review.
Okay.
I went to go see. I'll just tell you, whether it was a good movie or a bad movie, it's a visually wild movie that I think anyone will at least enjoy the crazy Viking shit.
I heard someone referred to it as a masterpiece.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's a bloody war movie, but it's also art house. At times it gets really artsy because they do all these visions, like his visions of the gods, and like you're like, what is happening? And it's like all trippy, like someone took LSD or something.
Oh wow.
So that, like, I can see why someone might not like that, but I really, really liked it.
You went to a performing arts school. Did you know that Macbeth is based off of the character that you watched in that movie?
Yeah, well, Hamlet. But
Hamlet. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes. No. I did know that going in, and man, it was good. It was a good movie. Definitely a good movie. But before that, when I was meeting up with everyone, I was alone, and I've never done this. Right? I was gonna get some food, and I said, "Wait a minute, it's my birthday. I'm gonna eat what I want to eat." And I saw a Red Lobster across the street, and I said,
"I saw that.
I'm going for it." And so I got the ultimate feast. I was eating up on biscuits. It was just beautiful. Alone, didn't have to talk to anybody. Just me and my lobsters.
Me and my subpar lobster. I actually love Red Lobster. I enjoy it. All you seafood snobs, I'm a cheap date. I was very proud that you went there. It reminded me of that time where I was supposed to meet you for another birthday, and I drove all the way from Manhattan after work, and your drunken self had already moved on to another party, and I got to the place, and I'm like, this mother.
I don't remember that, but I believe it. It sounds like something I do.
So good birthday all around.
Yeah,
man.
and then the next day, I drank all night, woke up, had brunch, my friend Anna is like a real brunch enthusiast.
Okay.
So like we brunched, and then we went to I GM'd a D&D game.
Okay.
And then the next day I woke up and brunched again.
Brunching with the Mantis for real.
Yeah, real brunching. With all you can drink and kind of stuff. Yeah. So it was just a fun-filled weekend.
You needed it, man. You needed it. You look refreshed and you sound refreshed, ready to crack off, have a good time.
I gotta say, thank you. Right before I was trying to rush to finish a YouTube video, and I was rushing before I went on my weekend, and I had to actually mellow myself and said, why am I busting my neck? It's my fucking birthday. I need to relax. Yeah. I actually put down the editing tool. I said, okay, I'm going to stop. Because I was literally trying to jam in a few hours of editing into 1 hour. I was like clicking. I was like getting dressed while editing. I was like, to make the movie or whatever. And then I realized it just becomes sometimes like the crunch is like such a obsession. It's just can drive you nuts.
Yeah, the grind will get you, man. And this is the thing, man. I say all that. I ask those questions obviously because I care. I'm glad you had a good weekend, but that's the goal, man. I've heard people poo on Joe Rogan and other big streamers, and maybe I've participated in some of that too. But the goal is to be able to do this and do it in a way where you don't have to grind so hard and worry about, not getting the video up and not doing this and not doing that. So I think for a lot of people, when they're looking at Joe Rogan and they're like, how can you support him? I'm like, I don't support all of his ideas, man. I respect the journey that it took for a subpar comedian.
I don't even understand it really, Joe Rogan. I like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I don't think he's funny though.
He's not the funniest guy. He's not the smartest guy. I don't know what I like about him. He's just kind of there.
I'll tell you what I like. I it's the hustle, it's the grind, man. And also I enjoy the amount of work that went into making it into a brand. I love all this stuff, man. My ideal thing would be, studio where we could show up, scream at some interns, have a Jamie, imagine not having to do all that. I respect being able to build that up. I also respect being able to sustain during all of the controversies and things of that nature, man. I believe Joe Rogan is a racist. I have no evidence that he actually has hateful thoughts in his heart. I can't prove it, right? He has said some things that I disagree with strongly, and I hope he never says again. I'm not going to defend any idiocy. I just think, and he's got great kicks. You're right, Shaolin Iceboxer. Joe Rogan has such amazing kicks that George St. Pierre, former welterweight champion of the UFC, some recognize him as the greatest mixed martial artist to ever live.
Or they may recognize him as Batroc the Leaper. Captain American Winter Soldier.
Yeah, he went to Joe Rogan to learn how to kick, like to throw the type of kicks. So I respect the grind. And Grim Inquiry says he's an everyman. It's true. He is an everyman.
It is. And you know what's funny? He's the more likable everyman. So here's the thing. I think I was telling you that I was like studying other streamers and other people who do their thing. And I saw the quartering and I was like, what is it? And I was watching all his videos and I was like, well, what is it that people like about him? And people are like, well, he's an everyman. And I don't think of the quartering as an everyman, but Joe Rogan is an everyman.
100%.
I don't. I still don't understand the quartering quite yet.
I've figured him out. But here's another thing you got to respect about Joe Rogan. I believe that there's a certain reaction we have to a person who can actually listen. And I believe this, Mantis. People respect a person that can defend themselves. Right, there are lines you're not going to cross with Joe Rogan, right? And because he's able to defend himself, he doesn't come off as a jock. He's just a guy like, let me explore the thoughts and stuff like that. But that confidence comes from the ability to say, if I wanted to, I'd come across this table right now, strangle everyone you brought with you.
And that's what we love about him. He's always threatening our lives. Look, do you see what Gray said? The follow up. I don't know if I'm going to read that out loud though, but because right.
He's a neckbeard everyman. I agree with Gray. I was watching some our arch nemesis, not arch nemesis, but strange person on the internet who's made it big. Respect. Star Wars girl is back on YouTube. She had taken a break to do her calendar. Her what do you call this? When you dress up like people. What is it called?
She cosplays and then takes a calendar and all her Sims by her calendar.
Yeah, exactly. And she was off the internet doing that, but she's come back into some controversy, some stuff going on with her and Lizzo, or her and Lizzo's fans. Apparently, she made a comment about Lizzo getting on a plane with her bear derriere being exposed. And she compared and contrast that to a Miss Universe candidate that got forcibly removed or asked to get off a plane or told she couldn't get on because of her outfit. And she, the contrast being, well, why was it okay for Lizzo to have her bear, derriere out there, and this woman was asked to leave? Go look it up, folks. It's a thing. But I got,
Lizzo needs to put on some pants, straight up.
Yes. I got some respect for that Star Wars girl, because it takes a lot to keep that machine going. Because you can run out of relevant troll stuff to say, right? You can, at some point, the quartering's going to run out of stuff to complain about, right?
Right. I don't know how they have energy all day. Also, to have to put out 5 or 6 negative videos in one day. I'm like,
oh goodness,
yeah,
it's insane.
Actually, so one of the, we might be putting on too many YouTubers on blast right now. A member of Geeks and Gamers, I'm not going to say which one, just put out. It's so funny. You were telling me how G4 is doing better and they're making a comeback.
Yeah,
he did a negative spin on that video.
Really?
Today, he was like, "Look at them. They're pathetic. They're never going to make anything of themselves. They're dead. They might as well just quit now and give up." And I was like, "But I thought their numbers were like in the tens of thousands."
They have 14,000 people in their Twitch stream.
And so, what is he talking about? But he's doing the anti-spin. He's doing he's trying to spin it in like a crazy negative way because he knows negative sells.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of these Lord of the Rings people. People keep talking smack about Lord of the Rings. They haven't seen it yet.
I'm so ready to get in on some of that, man.
They are just trashing it, and they're like, "This is horrible. This is horrible. This is just disgrace to Tolkien's memory."
Right.
Like, and because they know that people will click on anything negative.
Like his son's books weren't a disgrace to it. if we're gonna do that, you know what I'm saying? Like, here's the thing, man. I want to hone in more on the negative spin thing. This is one of those things where I'm glad to be in this group. Shout out to Gray Winthrop. Shout out to Grim Inquiries. Gray Winthrop's brainchild. Shout out to the whole crew, because what we've managed not to do, we get a little spicy on here sometimes, but not to the point where we're making allegations and taking shots at people. You know, your TikTok videos are funny, but they're all in jest and lightheart. The reason the quartering has blown up, that Star Wars girl, that clique, shout out to them. I'm gonna be consistent. I respect grind, but it's because they've cornered the market on saying negative things. Bro,
right.
Let me see you get 14,000 peak hours on Twitch. I don't care that they should have had 25,000. If I'm an analyst and I'm seeing 14,000 people in the stream after that debacle, I'm like, yo, that's 10,000 more people than I thought we were going to get.
Yes, I would agree. I was surprised when you told me that number. I was like, really?
Yeah.
And I must have been listening too much to the negative reports. I was like, I thought they were going down like brass on the Titanic.
No, but we get stuck in this microcosm. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. We keep watching people who are reviewing it badly, and we're accepting it, right? We're accepting the lie.
Yeah, and again, this is proof. Joe Rogan was supposed to be his demise, and 2 million plus subscribers. That's 2 million more than Netflix has right now, right? So now Joe Rogan's going to start getting into big streaming numbers. I want to see the Social Blade compare, because Netflix just lost 100,000.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about that as a topic. Lainey says, "Oof, that woman isn't attractive enough to get her own calendar." Izzy says, "People love what they hate," and then Lainey says, "Negativity, toxicity, and cancel culture sells."
Yeah, man, it's true. Also, having haters sells, and that's another thing I learned from watching Star this weekend. He did something so brilliant, man. It's so brilliant. He literally said, "No, to my mods, let the trolls speak." He calls them troll babies. That's what he calls his community. He's like, let them speak. He's like, I want them all saying every crazy thing they can say in the chat, because they keep talking. And that number stays at 200,000 instead of 150,000 when people aren't talking in the chat. Folks, if you ever wonder why it looks like they're at 9, 15, 10, 12, it's because you stopped talking in the chat. But Star is smart. He's like, yeah, talk about my mother. Talk. Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they also measure engagement on a lot of these apps. I was surprised that the chatter, like people in the chatter. But I'm like, wait, so then why am I kicking out spammers?
I don't kick them out anymore.
I should just let spammers do their thing. If on some metric it's saying that I'm getting a lot of engagement.
You just got to catch them in case they say some crazy racist stuff. That's when you got to kick them. Gray went through our tapping in, says Jeremy the Quartering got banned from Magic the Gathering competitions. That was his big break in the neckbeard controversy. Yes.
Yeah, I heard someone do a video of it. I got bored with it, but yeah, apparently he trolled. He said something really mean to a girl Magic player or whatever, and he got famous off of that. Like people
loser. But female Magic players alone.
Women can't play Matt.
Bro, remember we covered Talking with a Dad, RIP, and Fanboy Modeling School, its birth. We talked about Dr. Disrespect. Here's a man that was his career was supposed to be over. Canceled. They accused him of sexual stuff. To this day, we still don't know why Twitch kicked him off the platform. Still thriving on YouTube.
Where? On YouTube?
Making a living, man. He didn't, he's in the litigation situation with Twitch to get that money, because I can't talk about that. But thriving over there.
So let's talk about the end of the age of entertainment.
Oh boy.
Okay, so freaking Netflix loses a boatload of subscribers.
Right.
Their stock drops 35%.
Yes.
They're 35% less rich. They then shut down their animation studio a day later.
Did they? I didn't even catch that.
We're not getting Castlevania. We're not getting any of that stuff.
Dota, it's all gone?
It's all gone. As of right now, I don't know if there's some way to redo it, but they closed it down as a knee-jerk reaction to the thing, like tightening your belts, which means we're probably going to get less good content on Netflix. Not that it's the best content ever, but what the hell are we going to do if these streaming services aren't able to cut it anymore?
I think, and this is the thing, man, huge growth and having the market cornered for so long, and they weren't turning a profit for many years, and now they just started turning a profit. Yeah, the people sharing passwords, entire households, entire family groups. I think it's just Netflix, bro. And I'm not being a Disney shill here, but I really do think that there was a reason for the slow rollout for content on Disney. They're like, well, let's just see what happens.
Yeah, because how much can you really spend on the content?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and meanwhile, Netflix is dropping tons of money.
Yeah,
they're just throwing contracts at anybody. They'll sign anything.
Yeah, have you seen the there's no perk to having a Netflix account. Shout out to John Campia. He was talking about this, or one of his co-hosts was talking about it. You know, Amazon Prime, that's a perk of me being a Prime member, right? I get free content as a perk. Disney Plus, I guess the perk would be that they bundled in Hulu and UFC Fight Pass all together. So I get 3 streaming services for the price of one low-grade Netflix subscription. And they're rolling out good content that ties into what I go see in the movie theater. So there's perks there. There really isn't a perk anymore to being a Netflix member.
No, you're right. And they have all these other things. Like, for instance, you know, Warner Brothers, they're going to take the HBO Max stuff, their other Warner Brothers content, the CNN Plus shows that they already greenlight and made, whether they have an app or not, and the Discovery Plus, and they're going to roll it into one mega app. That's what you need. You need mega apps, right?
Yeah. And it's... Oh, some interesting stuff going on in DC as well, by the way. I don't know if you saw this. They are getting ready to go through yet another, DC being WB, another big reorg, you know, after the Discovery acquisition. And Discovery has apparently, allegedly, rumors on the streets decided like, oh, yeah, we probably do need a Kevin Feige figure to run this whole thing. So I've heard, you know, Campia reported on it, and someone else that they're vetting or have found someone to run up that entire studio to like an actual DCEU or they need to hire that dude from Star Wars. What's his name? The guy who directed Iron Man. Why is his name escaping me? Johnny Favs. I thought he was talking about JJ as well.
No. Gray Winter. Laney says, I play Magic. Watch it.
Izzy says, better get Will and Johnny.
But you know, the other rumor is that they are thinking of, there's rumors that the Discovery Plus execs don't like the Black Superman idea, and they want to keep Henry Cavill. That's like a rumor.
Listen, man, I'm okay with Elseworld Black Superman in the comics because he's not actually Clark Kent, like a black Clark Kent. He's just another Kryptonian,
right.
You know, and but
in the JJ movie he's working on, he really wanted to turn Clark Kent in black.
Yeah, I don't get it. Don't get me started.
But that would have been cool if it was just a black Kryptonian, and it'll be like, you know what I'm saying?
I want to point something out. Laney, Gray, you see how agreeable the curmudgeon is being this evening? No debating. I was
wondering what was going on here. I'm assuming it's a trap for our final.
No, actually, getting into some good old internet beef. Shout out to Dope Dynamics. I think I aired out the last of my anger that I was dealing with over certain situations. So now I'm just, I'm feeling more like myself again.
You let it out.
You let out the evil.
Yeah, Laney says keep Cavill.
I mean, what are we gonna do if Netflix gets rid of its original content? I need The Witcher season 3.
Oh, right. And I mean, who knows what's up? What they might cancel because of this stuff. Since he said, he personally believes Netflix will find a way to reign supreme.
Simply because they have one thing everyone else doesn't have: a consistently performing app without bugs.
Yes. Yeah. Netflix streaming is really good.
It's gotten better. It's gotten better over it. I remember when they first rolled it out, I was like, this is the worst thing ever.
Right. But compared to, like, you're right. HBO Max is really glitchy. Even Disney sometimes screws me.
Yeah. I can get behind that. We're at the 1 hour mark. I know we're going to spend a great deal of time. Do you have any other topics before we get into the fatty, meaty topic of the evening?
Well, I think we have two fatty, meaty topics, and it depends on which one we want to go ham on. So there is the whole Disney battle over their special district.
Oh yeah, they're in the beef with Florida,
and I think that connects to the death of entertainment because, like, why are this corporation that's supposed to be entertaining people having political battles?
Yeah,
like I'm at the shut up and drivel stage where I'm like, just make good content, and I don't want to hear about your political opinions.
See, I'm I'm right there with you, man. The pendulum has swung so far to the other side, but here's the thing, right? And this is where this gets crazy. So you guys all retreat to your own corners and you do with what you will, with my opinion. I think people are so terrified of corporations going back to a blind eye civil rights era blind eye that we find ourselves here now, where it's like you got to speak up on everything. And I'm like, I don't know if they need to speak up on everything. They should speak up on things, right? But I don't know, Mantis. I'm thoroughly confused. I've been contemplating this entire week. Bad optics, right? You have a person saying that they were an employee of the company, saying that they were purposely, inputting certain images and things into the content. And even if you agree or disagree, your publicist should have been the one to vet
to reel that. Now, I think it was like a Zoom call that somehow got recorded or sent out.
It was an interview. It was an actual interview, and it's like, this is why you have publicists. It's like, hey, shut up. Do you realize what you just said? But DeSantis declaring full-scale war wants to revoke the special United Nations privileges of Disney World in Florida.
Yeah. Disney World is in what they call a special district, where it basically is its own country. Like it doesn't follow the rules of America or some shit. And why would I be surprised that they have this privilege? Of course, it's Disney. They're more powerful than God. People are saying they're going to win at the end, and they might win at the end. But why are they wasting time with this kind of stuff? And yet you love it when your God Emperor Nusky gets political. Curious. Well, Gray, I'll put it like this. Musk is an upstart. He's an individual with a lot of money who just is causing trouble, like a prankster. I love that. Like, he's gonna allow transactions to work on Twitter with Dogecoin.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's hysterical, man. It's like, he's a practical joker. That's different than the person who makes kids content chiming in on political stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. And here's the thing about it, right? So once upon a time when Disney got these tax breaks and basically the ability to operate like a large religious group, it was because of what they were bringing to Florida. Right. So this sort of swings both ways. I'm not on the DeSantis train, man. I listen to all my conservative friends. You guys are doing the same thing you did with Trump, and I'm watching you do it again. I'm watching you do it again. This guy's galvanizing you with the right words and the right energy and the machismo, and you think he's gonna reinstate whatever it is you're looking for. But I'm gonna say the same thing about him that I said about Candace Owens. Whenever people of color hear someone say a more traditional America, do you know what the first thing that pops in their mind is?
Segregation. All white suburbs. Lynchings. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to use that word either.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say that Marisol asked, was it the higher-ups that wanted them to do it, or was it an irresponsible employee releasing all that information about the you know what I mean? Like, basically, Marisol wants to know if it was just, was the interview with the Disney higher-ups, was it purposely to illustrate something that they were trying to get out there, or was just somebody speaking? They said something stupid. This is what I'm not clear on.
I think that
Becca says slavery.
I think that if you want me to be completely honest, I think this was a rogue employee, and then they had to get out in front of it, type of deal, man.
Right.
And because I can't see how a company would want someone saying these type of things, because just listen to what they said about a company that largely makes stuff for kids, right? And so what you're saying is, in the most hot button topic era, you, without the consent of anyone, just took it upon yourself to put certain imagery in. Yeah, if I was the publicist, I'd have drop kicked. They're like, what? What did you admit to out loud?
and yo, Gray, I gotta say, I'm not a DeSantis guy either. I probably never paid attention to him until this particular issue came up. But Gray says Florida is currently banning math books that seem too woke. DeSantis is trying too hard. However, I don't know which math books you're referring to. However, I will say this. If those books have anything to do with the math is racist approach to math, then I am very pro them getting rid of it.
Yeah, so the critical race theory topic is an interesting one, because again, I don't agree with the intentions of a lot of people who would have critical race theory taught in school. I am someone that's always looking for the moderate way to approach something, which is just teach history accurately. And anyone that swings against that, then you have an agenda. Teach history as it happened. Right. That's all you have to do.
And they don't have to insert opinion or whatever, or extra flurry to it.
Yeah. Teach it as it happened, right?
So exactly, like I'll give you an example. Don't teach slavery, whether it is good or bad. Teach it as it happened. And trust me, the kids are going to know that shit was fucked up. You don't need to have a moment where you say, look how horrible white people are.
No, but I mean,
you see what white people do to everything.
But you can condemn the establishment of slavery without then condemning the entire people group.
Yeah, why does it lead to the people group condemnation? I don't get this.
Yeah, and then the establishment, the transatlantic slave trade, and the slave trade perpetrated by certain other groups that were not of the Dutch or Spaniard orientation, in which they continued slaving in Africa for many years after the transatlantic slave trade had ended. There is a group that slaved more blacks than that entire thing, but I'm not going to say it out loud, and I hate to do the woke thing to you, which is go research it, and you'll be surprised to find out which people group enslaved more black people than all those other groups combined.
Right. I hear you. So Gray, I've done a lot of when I say research, I've read many articles on it, and I've seen people point out what's going on. And so one aspect of it is that I saw some examples of just things that I think are generally racist that they believe. Like, for instance, they were talking about changing the way math problems are, and for inner city areas that are primarily black, they changed them. They skipped one example of what a three-dimensional thinking is, and they changed the problem to talk about low-income housing.
Yeah.
Because their implication is they're black people. They must have low-income housing.
Yeah.
That is not an appropriate way to teach math.
And also, I would like to respond but African slaves were, I think Gray meant weren't indentured servants. That's different. No, I was actually not talking about Africans slaving Africans. But hey, since we're going to jump out the window here, I was talking about Arabic countries that had enslaved Africans. Yeah. I was talking about the Arabic countries that had come in and looted and pillaged Africa for its resources long before the Europeans showed up.
And then also, Gray, I'll say this, that there was another aspect of it where they literally said in their own words that focusing on the right answer in math and science is too much of a white way of thinking, and that they need to stop being obsessed with the right answer and focus on, like you said, how to get the answer. However, it's math. You need to get the right answer.
Yeah, you need to get the factual, definitive truth answer.
Thank you for that, curmudgeon. As if I wouldn't see through your trickery. Since he says, no, let them little efforts know that they only get to go to the good school because their family lineage decided to engage in a little effery known as slavery.
Well, hey, you can't argue with facts, right? So there's a certain baseball owner. I can't give out names for own personal reasons, but he owns a team, or he's a partial owner in a team, owns a good majority of the team, and he made his money in the tobacco industry. And I'm not just talking Philip and Morris, like old school tobacco, like on the backs of people. Tobacco.
We're talking about Ben Affleck's ancestors. You know about that whole thing?
No, were they slavers?
Yes. So check this out. You know how there was a show, I don't know if it's still around, but NBC had a show where they look up the history of a celebrity and then they show them on TV. They do a little documentary on it, and it was the week it was Ben Affleck's. They did research and they told him before the show started, they were like, we discovered that you and he tried to pay the reporters off. He said, can you not mention that part? And he was trying to give them money. Oh man.
And Benedict Cumberbatch. Wow, not Doctor Strange.
Oh, I believe it.
Oh my goodness, how pumped are you to be going to see Doctor Strange? Happy birthday, by the way.
Well, I can't wait. We're going together, guys, by the way. I can't believe we've met. I thought I would never see this movie.
It's here. And Love and Thunder trailer, which you didn't like, but I'm super gassed.
I've eaten my words since.
You like it now?
I've watched it like 5 more times, and I'm like, this is gonna be a good movie.
It's gonna be an amazing movie. They're watching LLC. If you have not seen the episode of Atlanta that come out a few weeks ago,
about reparations.
It has to do with the topic. That topic. It's hilarious.
Oh, it is hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. Atlanta's weird that sometimes like they'll have an episode that has nothing to do with the main characters, and the main characters will not be in it at all.
That's great writing.
But in this one episode, it's one of those where it's actually about a white guy and it's about reparations and stuff. It's hysterical.
Bro, so shout out to the whole crew over there doing their thing on Atlanta, man. FX, man, can you believe that? You remember when that thing launched, man? I was just like, this thing is gonna. Whatever happened to Spike TV? Is Spike TV still a thing?
Yo, so no, Spike is currently Paramount Network.
Oh,
yeah, they reformatted it, so they took away the guy network, which was men can't have anything in this world. Seriously. We try to have nice things and people take them away. There's just no room for men in this world. That's what's wrong with it.
There's no safe space for us.
No, I have no safe space, no place to speak my mind.
Elon Musk.
Okay, we're at it. I was celebrating and I was partying on Twitter all day today. I was talking to other Muskers and they're like, yeah, we're back. And I was like, yeah, it's awesome. I'm going to use this app now. Yeah. Doge for life. I'm very happy. I'm super happy. Freedom of speech has returned to the world. A great villainy has been defeated, and it's the Twitter board. It's the shadow band council.
Bro, here's the crazy thing about this whole situation, man. He said he was going to do it, and he did it, which is absolutely insane in a world where people can't shake your hand and look you in the eye, and they can't even finish their friggin' burrito bowl from Chipotle. Shout out to Chipotle for sponsoring the Fanboy Modeling SchooL. We had a man who threw a brick at one of his own vehicle's windows, had the worst moment on the internet that anyone's ever had, right? And now is the proud owner of a completely useless app.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really make money, so it actually bleeds money a lot. Twitter, it's like popular, but they really don't know how to make the money system work.
Right.
Maybe he'll correct that. He'll be able to fix it and make a profit, but he didn't do it for profit. He did it because he's a hero and a stand-up guy.
And I won't hear anything else about it.
I will hear nothing else about it. Here's what I'm saying. Our rock star spaceman, Elon Musk, realizes that we can't have democracy unless we have fighting on the internet.
Right.
And so therefore he's going to bring back the fighting, and I love it.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So, you get what you pay for, you get what you wish for, Mantis. Now, so I just want to talk to you specifically about the fact that we're going to have freedom of speech, which means the hate mongers are going to be back on the platform.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do we deal with that for those inquiring minds?
So, I assume it's not going to be total freedom of speech. I assume there will be something, like, I doubt you could threaten somebody, right?
Right.
Or something like that. And I'm like, I personally, I am fine with it, because you don't need to go to Twitter or any of these things to see hate speech or see people who hate you and want you dead and all that shit.
Right.
And I don't think you necessarily need a safe emotional space when you go to a place that's about debating. Twitter's about debating.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And so another thing, as I noticed, is that not everyone's freedom of speech is equal. I'll give you an example. People who are not J.K. Rowling a lot of them have been banned from Twitter for saying the exact same thing she has. Now they don't get rid of J.K. Rowling, even though that should be protected speech, because she's powerful and has money.
Right.
And I'm like, no, a housewife who believes in what you believe in should be allowed to say what you say. But I think all of that should be allowed.
Okay.
And that's what I'm fighting for the right,
So it sounds like to me you're saying that bad ideas should be refuted publicly and not hidden in the dark parts of the web where they can grow their ranks over perceived oppression. Not even perceived, actual oppression. Like the more you mute these groups, now I mean it's a double-edged sword, man. And I will admit that. But the more you mute them and the more you shove them down, the more you get them meeting in secret places, which they're still going to do. But it increases the numbers. It makes them right. And you just ruin the opportunity for civil discourse, I think.
So I've been watching a lot of right-wing YouTube lately, and one thing I have noticed is how much victims they feel. Or at least they say that.
It's crazy.
They're like, we can't even say what our feelings. They're going to run us out of town. They're demonetizing everything I do. They're stalking me on Facebook, waiting for me to say the wrong thing. Please donate. And they get a ton of donations because people are like, look what they're doing to these poor people.
Right.
And so that's the problem. That's the thing. Twitter is creating that attitude. And you're right. They feel victimized and they're recruiting because of that.
Right.
And so if they weren't discriminated against, they might be less powerful.
Yeah, and at the very least, they lose a talking point, right?
Right.
It is going to be interesting. Now I got to see what he does here. What's the next move? Because also I would like to see. You know me, I'm a huge believer and wanter of technology improving. This is something definitely for your Mothership Mondays. I believe we've reached a precipice in regards to technological advances, and we're seeing more reskins than we're seeing innovation in certain areas, and it's slowed down a bit because of laziness. I would like to see him push forward the UI of Twitter a bit, take us to a new place of interaction with each other. I'm not talking about the metaverse or any of that stuff, because I really don't want to be trapped in a virtual reality setting with some of these weirdos.
Not with
I want
Zuckerberg in charge of it, that reality.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see more happen with the application on top of the free speech. I want to see what innovation he can bring to it.
So the first thing he wants to do is he wants to prove that there's no shadow banning, and to prove it, it's going to be open source, so you can actually see.
Right.
You can actually see the data. Now, I don't know what that's going to look like, and I'm not a programmer, so it can't be in program. What are you saying?
Dangerous. That's one right there. I'm sure since he just sat up a little bit right there, because since he's a programmer, open sourcing things and giving people access to your code puts the users in a vulnerable state. But okay.
He said I did. Wow, that's so funny. He said in Starlink we trust. Yeah. So so he wants to do that. He's saying so that you can prove that you're not being shadow banned or the algorithm's not working against you, and that all people will have equal algorithm.
Okay.
The only edge you'll have for being a celebrity is you'll probably have more followers, and that obviously will get you more engagement, right? Already, but that's just the skin of the game. But he just wants to prove that they're not, because that's what, and actually Twitter has admitted that they do this.
Yeah.
That they're like, if we don't like your tweet, we're going to make sure less and less people see it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're not even pretending this place is fair. And so I would like that. And then he's also saying that he's like, there's going to be in-app things like purchases and you can do. And he's saying you can pay with Dogecoin.
Nice.
So I'm hoping, I don't know if you do mines. Do you mess with mines?
No.
I love mines.
No. It ruined the GPU market. I believe graphic processing units to be used for what they're intended. Better graphics for video games. Not so strange people on the internet can build large factories to mine invisible money.
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, on mines you can mine by using. The more you use it, the more you're mining Ethereum, and then you can use Ethereum to make your posts more popular. Right. That would be cool if the more you tweet, the more Dogecoin you get.
I think Elon should make a new currency or copy the currency or the highly sought after resource from Avatar called Unobtainium.
Eventually, that will be that they're gonna run out of names of cryptos. There's so many cryptos,
right? What's up, public friend coming in? Great Winthorpe agrees with me. Graphical processing units, GPUs to the uninitiated.
Yo, public friend, that is fake news. Public says Mines tried to ban me. That is not true. They claim that they put up a salty anti Elon Musk thing, and that that app is so pro Elon Musk that they tried to ban them.
How do you know it's fake news?
Sorry?
How do you know it's fake news?
No, because they admitted this at a certain point. That the whole story was made up to make Elon and his followers look bad.
Me.
Guys, one day you're gonna thank me for all the Elon love that I give. Yeah. You're gonna be like, I wish I was ahead of the curve like Mantis, and that I knew that he was legit and he was gonna save us all.
Yeah, when Elon's peacekeepers come floating in leather with cords strapped to the back of their head, and Mantis is one of the main new processors, and he's like, and now we will deliberate on the fate of one holder up TV. Like, bro, we go back. You and I.
Yo, I'm gonna be like the remember when they made the Scarecrow a judge in the new apocalyptic world of Gotham? Yeah. In the Dark Knight. Yeah, that's gonna be me.
Exactly.
I'll be holding kangaroo court against all the anti-Muskas. Public says it's my truth. Public turned on me. Public turned on me. It's my truth.
Hey, this is what happens. You leave yourself open.
Lainey says she'd start tweeting for Dogecoin.
Yes, and Great Winthorpe says he's another Edison without the actuality being without actually being an inventor.
I can't say whether Edison was actually a con artist or not, but a lot of these great men that we look up to or idolize later on, it turns out they're all con men. Like everyone on some level is a con man. Here we are in the streaming game, and let's face it, most of the people we've already named as streamers on this episode alone are all working some crazy hustle, and they're all grifters. And these are the people we look up to, right? We're like, Joe Rogan, blah, blah, blah. He is a complete grift. Right? Star Wars girl. You were saying, you're like, Star Wars girl had to stop because she's making her calendar where she pretends she's pretty. But she's tricked some simps into believing it. Everyone's a con artist. We all have a hustle, which is why I don't knock hustles.
She's not a bad looking woman. She's just right. You know, it's interesting what people, and I'm not kink shaming. It's interesting though, right? What people are into. You know, it's like, I don't know. I'll tell you this much, Mantis. You know, I've made light of the situation, but I do believe it. She looks like she could be an ex-girlfriend of yours, like someone I would have to suffer. Like
you know what? She kind of reminds me of the type of girl I date.
Yeah.
Now that you mentioned it. Craig Hintham says Edison was a ruthless and shifty when it came to slandering and destroying this competition. Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Tesla. The man that brought us to useless coils, but was the innovator and thinker of wireless technology,
and was played by David Bowie in The Prestige. Poor Tesla.
That's a great movie. I love that.
Yeah, I love that movie.
It's an amazing movie. But I was talking to someone else in this morning. They were the one that broke the news to me about the Elon thing, and they were like, "Just watch, the streets are gonna run with liberal tears." And already I'm seeing a little bit of that.
I'm seeing it all over Twitter. Yeah,
not clear thinking people. I won't put this on all liberals. I think it's just the hypersensitive people who are just like, this is gonna ruin everything. He's gonna take away, and I'm like, but bro, that's literally what the other side has been saying. You are saying the exact thing that the other side is
just proving the point of why it had to be made that he had to buy it.
Yeah.
And they're so aggressive. Both sides are so aggressive. Like the Muskers did this thing where like the guy who was the CEO, like literally within minutes of like the transaction going through, they all just people started tweeting him and they're like, I think you want to take CEO of Twitter out of your bio, bro. Like the ruthless animals, man.
Just waiting, just absolutely waiting.
I was banished from Twitter. I used to have a Twitter account. I had over 1,000 followers, which in my opinion was hard to get. And I was tweeting all the time, and somebody narked on me and made it look like I was a bot.
Yeah.
And then, no, it was you, Grace. I know it was you.
Oh, he said the name. He said
I didn't say their full name, but like the whole thing is that. And so I have been banished for at least a year off of Twitter, maybe 2 years. And so now I just feel like now I can come home. I'm not, maybe it's not home, but I can at least enjoy this thing that everyone talks about again.
Yeah.
And I'll be less likely to, these injustices won't happen again.
Public says it's props for the betterment.
Well, I'm gonna be tweeting hardcore. I want you guys, drop your Twitter handles if you're a tweeter in the chat. We'll all hook up. We'll all have fun. We'll mock people together.
Now, let me ask you a question. Now that you're unbanned or you got the new account, are you going to be going on Twitter Spaces?
Oh, you mean to do a live?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm there yet. It just seems so stupid that you make a post and then you start a live in the middle of a Twitter feed. Like, that's so weird.
It seems very intuitive. It's like, oh, you got something to say? Mic up. Let's go.
Public says, hell nah, Twitter is my toilet.
They ban Ira Madison. How do you ban a sassy gay black man for being sassy?
Exactly.
Good question.
Why can't we be sassy and black? Why can't we? Why can't I be a better journalist than the person who tattled on me?
Right.
Why are these injustices happening? Elon Musk will fix it.
Well, specifically for you, man, and I'm saying this because I believe it to be true, but I can't prove it. I believe that the engagement that you enjoyed on YouTube prior to Spoon went down because of the Twitter ban. I always thought that, and I still think that, there was a certain ratio on your videos and there was a trajectory that your channel was on. You were going through the same struggle as most YouTubers, like, hey, 5,000 people watch this, just click the subscribe button. It's not
and then, those same big groups would come to the same, you could tell it was the same people, which makes it even worse that they weren't hitting subscribe, because it was like I'd get like 50 or 100 from a normal thing, and then my American Horror Story videos would be like 5,000 in the thousands, and I was like, I know those are the same people coming back to watch my shit.
Yeah.
So just hit subscribe, bro.
Just hit the subscribe.
But yeah, and so I got banished to Parler, and it's hard. That's a ghost town, and I do the same things. I'm like, I post my link, and I'm like, people will come. Nobody's coming. I'll get a weird notification from Parler occasionally, and I'm like, what? And so they're like, somebody upvoted one of your posts, and I was like, I get like one notification a month. But it's been rough to not be allowed in. Public says, don't you know, only right-wing people get banned from Twitter. So there you go. Isn't it horrible?
Tribeca says, aka the Pink Princess, what's your Twitter, Mantis? Go ahead and drop your Twitter for the folks, man.
My Twitter is...
Yeah, again, no, I think the reason why this is big news in regards to the acquisition, and it's a huge acquisition. That's big news. I'm not entirely sure that it's going to be the meltdown that people are saying. This is not the seventh sign. The seventh seal on hell hasn't broken, and I'm not convinced that Elon Musk is Antichrist nor Christ-like figure. He's just a businessman that made a big, bold move based on his what he
my Twitter guys. Yes, no, I agree with you. I don't actually think he's like a savior of anything or does anything magical. I won't even say that he created all the things he's accredited as for. I know he holds patents, but I know all you have to do is be a rich person to hold one of those. I think that it's just cool that a guy who believes in the right to free speech buys Twitter. I also think it's pretty cool to want to go to Mars. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we got to get there. But I have a different plan. I think that automation should be reserved to make sure that people don't lose their jobs. Send the robots to colonize and terraform the planets we need to escape to.
Yo, let's do it.
Right?
Let's colonize Mars so we can get the hell off this rock.
Bro, if I was your supreme unquestioned emperor, I'd be like, don't worry. I'm not putting one robot in a trucking device because this planet's going to surely not be able to sustain us. I'm sending all the robots to get the other planets ready. Right? That's the next move. That's the big move. We don't need robots to have coitus with. We need robots to go start planting seeds in viable places.
I absolutely agree. That's actually a really smart use of robots. I agree with you. And like, yeah, we should build them in a fleet of robots and to send them out over to Mars. Fix it up for us. Nice.
Yeah, get it going.
Make it nice for daddy.
It's never gone wrong in any movie we've ever watched. I'm sure
they're going to come back with an armada building robots.
We have weighed you and find you wanting in your humanity.
So Public says, I just wish Elon wasn't so gross looking. Maybe I could warm up to him if he wasn't such a sight for sore eyes.
Yeah, that's an honest take right there, Public. Marisol agrees with the robots going to terraform. Public says, I need robots to have coitus with.
I feel sad when I think about Grimes dating Elon. Yo, I'm saying, I don't. Here's what I'm saying. I want to hear the counter argument to him. What is wrong with him? Why do people hate him so much?
Because he awkwardly smoked I think it started with the awkwardly smoking of the J on, and that's right, Twitter. I live in a state where it's legal, so you can't push my video down. It started with him awkwardly smoking the J on the Rogan show. I think that was the beginning of the fall from grace.
Here's his thing. I admit he tries too hard to be cool. And says, I'll smoke some weed. He'll wears leather jackets and shades to places. Like he came off of a motorcycle. I mean, come on.
It's very European.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's he tries really hard to be the rock star billionaire, but out of all these billionaires, I will trust Elon before I trust Bezos, Zuckerberg, Gates. Are you kidding me?
Bezos.
F these guys. They're the real devil.
Yeah, man. No crazy allegations as of yet, right? We're not no crazy hidden islands where people are being held against their will, right? I'm just saying, Elon, this is your boy Steve speaking to you. One, sponsor the channel. Remember to hit like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to the Fat Mantis channel. Get us up there.
Elon,
I want you to buy Twitch next. Free Twitch.
That's free Twitch. Oh, imagine free speech on Twitch. That would be rock star now.
Free Twitch. Let's send those robots out there, man. Let's get them on other planets.
Yo, should I get a Dogecoin tattoo?
Is that the dog thing you showed me?
The dog, yeah.
No.
The dog, no, you know.
No, I'm not with it, man. If anything, you should get a tattoo of that mantis on your arm, right? And just show it off to people like, this is my channel and this is how I'm committed to it.
I mean, at this point, I'm Mantis. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have strangers call me Mantis.
Strange things happen. Oh man, we're at the 142 mark, my friend.
Yo,
go.
I thought you were about to close up. Before you close up, I want to hear your thoughts. Are you going to start tweeting? Are you going to be on the Twitter world?
It's funny that you bring that up because I need to start being more active on social media in general, other than Facebook, which I loathe. But yeah, I'm gonna start tweeting, get the tweets out. You know, I'll probably jump in there into the you know me. When I went to Spoon, I went straight to Black Spoon.
Right.
So you know, it's time for me to re-engage with Black Twitter. Bex and Cincy know that you may not know this about me, Mantis. From 12 o'clock a.m. to 2 a.m., I patrol the streets of the internet, keeping it safe.
I think I did know that about you. You're like the Batman of Discord and Spoon. So you've probably heard her name dropped before. Mango, who you know got thrown out of Spoon for. She used to have a segment where she would just read the funniest tweets from Black Twitter.
Yes, that's
of the day, and it was hysterical. It was laughing my ass off for 2 hours straight.
Was Mango Black?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was like, that's not why she got kicked off. Shout out to Black Spoon, man. That was a crazy little movement.
Spoon, man. Black Spoon. Black Twitter. Yeah, get on Black Twitter.
Right.
We'll talk. Hey, we'll steal Mango's content.
Yeah,
it's all good. She's disgraced.
Yeah.
we'll start doing that, reading the Black Twitter.
Oh, I seen the craziest thing on IG. I'm more active on IG than anything else. Shout out to AD from No Jumper. Him and what's this guy's name? China Mac. They went back and forth on the internet today, and they did something really old school. They said some bad things about each other, and then they were like, all right, drop the address, and then they went and handled it like men. What? They didn't record that. They didn't record the actual fisticuffs, just the aftermath of them squashing after the beef. And it was clear that, punches have been thrown and all that stuff. But yeah, they settled it old school. They actually, you said some things that you can't take back, and I said some things, but no one got 87'd. Right. No one got deplatformed, and they shook hands afterwards, and they actually talked out, and it was actually a beef over content, and they worked it out. And I don't know why I was so impressed by that. Maybe because I'm a Neanderthal, but I was just like, wow,
thug. No, I'm kidding. It impresses me as well. So
like to be able to do that. But to answer your original question, yeah, I'm gonna get on Twitter. I'm not gonna lean very heavily in the Clubhouse, but I am gonna be promoting the channel and stuff on Twitter and doing all that type of stuff, engaging with other people.
You interested in joint streaming on clubs?
I was thinking about it, man. Audio is amazing on Clubhouse. I was like very good kept. You can't tell by all the crazy arguments that go on there. They all sound like they're in tin cans screaming at each other. But the audio,
they have crappy phones.
But no, it's. I'll continue to do. I guess we can agree on that, since that there's a live portion that kind of adds to the conversation. But I'm not sure. I'm not going to be doing conversations or anything like that on there.
Wait, have you been doing that on Clubhouse?
Oh, we just returned yesterday.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, we just came back yesterday. Shout out to DaVinci. We were talking about allyship. As usual, we met somewhere in the middle, but we had some different views on what an ally is. I am someone that does not qualify themselves as an ally, but I got your back. And that's worth more than saying, oh, let me come over and sit down with you while you want. Never mind. I can't make that joke. It's just like I don't trust a lot of men who say they're allies to, and I told DaVinci this. I don't trust a lot of men that do that stuff.
I hate to generalize about men all over, but if a man is pretending to be an ally, he's trying to hit it.
Yeah,
he's trying to get with you.
I got you back.
Yeah, or he's trying to get with someone who's in earshot.
Right.
When he's doing the standing on a soapbox thing, being like, this is unrighteous. We need to protect our sisters. I'm just like, who are you performing
numbers?
Yeah.
So I can protect you. Queen Kells. No, I didn't put the replay on, but that's mostly because the replay is it's going to be on Anchor. I'm going to drop that tonight. Just got to do a quick edit to make sure everything sounds good. And I'm going to be dropping it. I'll put the link up in my Discord. But Twitter, yes, here I come, full steam. It's hard. Twitter, though, it's got a ceiling on it. It's hard to break through. Like, again, I love all 9 people here, all 16 people that frequent the show. We hit some 20s sometimes. But outside of you loving folks, it's really hard to break through these markets nowadays. It's a very saturated market. And, but, you can't not try, right?
Here's my plan on life. And I assumed this was yours as well.
Okay.
I'm going to stream and make as many videos as humanly possible until finally the right celebrity just looks at my video. They look at that one phrase I make, that one funny joke, and they share it. And it goes viral. And that's what I'm gambling my entire existence on. That one thing can happen.
And that can happen. That can happen. But here's the thing. I don't know if I want to be connected to any celebrity I respect. Just think about some of the people I respect, man. Just for God's sakes, I just said I respect the 2 men that met up and fought each other in a parking lot.
Well, if that's the energy you're putting out, that's what the world will give you.
Again, man, listen, I'm going to send you some star videos, man. You know what is great, man? Shout out to these old radio personalities still doing their thing on YouTube, man, because there's a level of this is a guy that hosted Hot 90s on Hot 97 for a while. And I was like, man, you can really hear this. His thing sounds way different than the Joe Rogan or anyone else.
What does he stream on?
He's on YouTube.
Oh,
crazy thing. Never shows the chat. And I'm saying
what is he scared of?
No, there's probably some wild stuff going on in that chat, man. Some wild stuff.
Well,
Has traditional call-ins on the show. Still doing that thing. No Discord calls.
Like, yeah, that's the thing. I because I take issue with people who either don't show the chat or don't have their comments open.
Right.
That is beta right there. That is beta.
Yeah,
F that, man.
F that, all cap. Thank you, Pubs. Slow and steady. That's right. Slow and steady.
And Pubs is down with allyship. I like that. Well said, Pubs.
Yeah, it's a strange thing. I got you back though, because here's the thing, and this is what DaVinci and I talked about on the show. There's no way, if I'm looking at the literal definition of an ally, our allies, the great state of Canada and say Britain, they don't agree on our policies, on all our policies, on all our wartime policies. But the question is, do they have the right to not agree and not show up? Right. And if your allies don't have the ability to disagree with you, then they're not allies. They're serfs. They serve.
Yeah.
You.
That is so well said, man. You're on fire tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't know you had smart things to say. Yeah, exactly. But that's what a real ally is. They're going to tell it how it is, at least 95% of the time, right? And they have to be allowed to say that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so if a person is forced to say, no matter what you do or say, oh, you're so stunning and brave, then that's not a real relationship. That's not any type of relationship.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Like I was telling DaVinci, like if there was a scenario where the Handmaid's Tale was going to happen, as a person that has a certain belief system, that belief system enables me to call out falsities. And everything I've seen from the Handmaid's Tale, if anything ever happened like that, it's not called a patriarchy. What is it called? A theocracy blew up in America. I would be hands down against a theocracy. I just don't think there's any basis in the worldview that I have that it should be that way. So if they're coming for my friends and it's like false prophets and all that nonsense, now I want you to hear me, people. I can't guarantee we're going to get out of that fight alive, but I'm praying for the courage to get a whooping with you.
This is the absurdity of the show, though.
Yeah.
The absurdity of the show is that they're like, a theocracy will take over America and impress women. It is far more likely that an atheistic, violent fascist organization will take over America before a religious one ever will.
And you will all be processed accordingly. I love that part in Equilibrium. You mean killed. Processing.
And so it creates this fear of the religious that they're like, religious people want to put my daughters in chains. And I'm just like, and you want to silence me on Twitter. What's worse?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I'm going to tweet after this. One big tweet.
Got to get those tweets in. Oh, I just want to do some promos real quick. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Conversations That Matter is back. I will be joined by Will, the host of Before the Billions, a rapidly growing channel on YouTube. His content is primarily centered around improving the image of the black man. So we're going to be conversating about what that means, how he got into this whole thing, and what that journey is going to look like. And then, without Cincy knowing, I'll be bringing Cincy up tomorrow night on Request Box. We got something that we're going to be trying to put together on Tuesdays. So I'm going to see if I can get Cincy to agree to a beta run for that. Actually, you guys, you and Pub were the beta run on Thursday. So now we're going to see if we can make it an actuality. And then Wednesday night, Dope Dynamics, co-hosted by myself, Bex, and Cincy. We're having some conversations. Thursday night, Request Box Live. Friday night, 11 p.m. Booty Poppin' Chicken Friday night with Cincy Star. Also, make sure you check Cincy Star out on Mixcloud for his own personal streams and sets. Very talented DJ.
So basically, you're never not streaming.
No, I have Saturdays off. I have a hard. I thought about something, man. You have Sunday. You take Saturday and Sunday off. Yeah. So Saturdays are my hard days off, and that won't change that.
No, that's good.
And Friday is technically a day off for me as well because since he's on the decks, I'm listening the entire time and chiming in on the chat, just tapping in. Okay. Like 2 days off, you prick.
He said he's tapping it. Oh my goodness. So guys, 11:30 a.m. Eastern every morning. Actually, I'm sorry, that's a Tuesday through Friday will be brunch. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to take Mondays off. I stream too much on Mondays.
Yeah.
I don't have time I can't get anything accomplished on Monday. So brunch is only a Tuesday through Friday thing. However, as you know, Mondays, 6 p.m. Eastern, is Lainey and I are doing Mothership Monday. It is a wildly fun, interesting, some of the best streaming I've ever done. I love it. I hope to see you guys there. We talk about aliens, strange things, all these things. And of course, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern is Rogue Planet, where I'm going to have a guest on every week to discuss nerd culture, have an interview from someone who has an insider or some insight, and we'll talk about anything that's going on in the nerds, the superheroes, the anime, whatever it is, we are there for you.
Hey.
And then, of course, check out my I do 4 or 5 videos a week from Voice of the Fat Mantises over on YouTube. It's the best YouTube channel you'll ever experience.
Hey. Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to Public, who's been streaming. Check out Public on the late nights, playing some noir. And congratulations to Marisol on the new employment opportunity. And shout out to Great Interrupt. And shout out to Bex,
Cincy,
the whole crew, everyone. Things. Shout out to Kels. Shout out to Izzy, everyone that's here. Shout out to Watson. Obviously, you have on Friday and Saturdays as well. You have, okay, give me a second. Enough Said Radio, 9 p.m. Eastern, hosted by Tree and Joe VEEE. And then the newest team to hit these here streets, Power Love Latinas, hosted by Kathy, D Love, and Carmen, exclusively on Spoon, Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. Great show, great dynamic there.
Oh, one last thing. If you guys can do me a favor, Lainey's back in the streaming game.
Hey.
She's going to need your help and support to make this happen. So if you could follow her on Twitch, that's right. She's decided to become a Twitch girl. That's right.
Hey, Twitch.
She's a Twitch girl, not no holla back girl. But please.
I know you're going to drop it I know you're going to drop it in your own Discord, but drop it in the chat if you got the link for your Twitch, Lainey, and I'll make sure. I'm going to be making sure to put people's links in all of my things so they can know where the crew is and how to find them.
It's all right, Marisol. Thank you for thinking of us, though. That means a lot.
Marisol, you've been a long-time sponsor of the shows. We appreciate you, and we're just happy that you got the job you wanted. You worked hard to get it. I think that's all I got, brother. Of course, shout out to G over on Spoon, still doing this thing. Morning Journal, 6 a.m. Get your affirmation on correct. Shout out to Divine Kells doing their thing on Clubhouse. Divine has some meditation affirmation shows. Divine, if you want to drop and let people know where that's at. And shout out to Stacy, right? I feel like Stacy should get a shout out.
Stacy should get
son, do you know who made their return to the streaming game?
Who?
Lizzie. Not Lizzie Lou. Shout out to Lizzie Lou, but the Liz.
Right.
Former partner in Spoon, over on not Pokecha, what's the other one?
Bigo?
Hakuna doing a video live the other day.
Oh my God, are you on Hakuna?
I didn't know until I got the alert. I didn't even know the app was still installed.
You're on every app.
I'm chasing the bag wherever it's at, man. Right now, the most viable bag is Mixcloud and Twitch.
Right.
But yeah, it was good to see Liz back in the saddle. Happy, having a good time streaming, doing the Liz thing.
Thank you guys. This has been another amazing episode of the FanBoyModeling SchooL. Any final thoughts, brother?
No, man, that's it.
Guys, go out there and tweet.
Tweet.
You give those leftists a hard time.
Yeah. Hard one. Wait, what? Good night, y'all.
Good night, y'all. Ciao for now.